Mr. Simei Gray-Johnson, welcome to this podcast.
Thank you very much, and thank you for having me. I'm very pleased and honored to be part of this important podcast. Thank you.
To begin with, Simei, personally, I want to hear from you. Are you a firm believer in the Africa we want? And if so, what is the Africa we want? What is the Africa you want on a personal level, outside of work, outside of influence by your profession?
No, I totally believe in the Africa we want. I suppose that's why I work for the African Union Development Agency, and I've worked here for many years, serving in different capacities. At a personal level, the Africa I will want to see is a transformed, progressive, well-positioned Africa in the global discussion. An Africa that can trade with itself, an Africa that has a stance in the global discourse, and particularly an Africa that can move away from managing poverty to actually eradicating poverty, and moving and lifting our people through strong livelihoods and providing for them and making sure that we have flourishing economies, a plethora of entrepreneurs, and a beautiful and amazing cities and towns, with the youth empowered, gender empowered. It's something that possible, is attainable, and I think we will get there.
All right, so that being said, I think a lot of us aspire to see that kind of Africa. But ideally and candidly speaking, you can be frank with us. We want to know, does Africa have what it takes today, where we are with the current resources, with the people we have, the human capital, and where we are in the economic stage contrasted against the rest of the world? Do you really believe that Africa today, where we are in 2021, we've got what it takes for us to build the Africa that we want?
Certainly. I think Africa has always had what it takes to do it. I remember at the colloquium of 10 years of NEPAD, we were all together in 2011, 2010, when the former Prime Minister, the late Meles Zenawi, put up an Economist magazine saying the hopeless continent to the future continent. And I think we've always had what it takes. We have had challenges historically. Most of our countries are 60, 70 years old. We came from independence through structural adjustment, and from there we had the economic recovery programs. We had challenges with coup d'etats and governance issues. But if I look back the past 5, 6, 7 years, and I look at how the African continent has repositioned itself, we have grown. At some point we were 7 of the 10 fastest economies on this continent. We have been able to come together, secure the biggest free trade agreement, the CFTA. We've had a number of transformative programs and projects, especially in infrastructure, under the Program for Infrastructure Development in Africa. And I think as a union, under the African Union, our member states are much more determined to show that we implement the programs and the projects so that we can have a transformed continent. There's a lot happening on innovation. There's a lot happening on new technologies. Our youth are much more confident. Our women are much more entrepreneurial. So there's a lot happening in terms of, even in the private sector. So yes, we can do it, and I think we are doing it, and we've always been wanting to do it. It's just that issue of the enabling environment that we all talk about. Some countries are dealing with it and are moving faster than others, but I think everyone will catch up one day, and I'm hoping and praying that we will get there as a people and as a continent.
All right, you say everybody will catch up one day, and let's pray it's sooner than later,